Get ready for the World Cup. The focus is shifting to the big stage as we look at the preliminary squads. We dive into the rules governing provisional release lists and find out exactly how many players nations can include before the final cut. We'll explore how nations like Nigeria managed to narrow down their massive preliminary list to just 28 players and see what this means for the tournament.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the massive footprint of the World Cup in the United States. We explore how the Dallas Cowboys are setting up shop to host 9 matches at their retractable roof venue. And we check out all the amazing local spots, from the Fort Worth stockyards to the DART transit system, that fans need to know about. We move now to a major shakeup in coaching. We examine the situation with the Curaçao national team after head coach Fred Rutten announced his resignation following player protests. Discover the surprising decision by the Football Association that allows the previous coach, Dick Advocaat, to return and take the sidelines for the tournament. And finally, we bring you the official scoop. We are breaking down every nation's 26-man squad as they are announced for the massive 2026 World Cup. From Bosnia and Herzegovina's inclusion of D. Zico to Scotland's first game since 1998, don't miss this full rundown. Stay with us for the rest of the news. With the 2026 World Cup in the United States, Canada, and Mexico just 1 month away, focus is shifting to provisional squads as nations begin selecting players for the tournament. While final teams are pending, provisional lists are being announced, often requiring subsequent trimming to meet FIFA's requirements. Participating nations are permitted to name a provisional squad, sometimes referred to as the provisional release list, which can include between 35 and 55 players, with a mandatory minimum of 4 goalkeepers. These lists are not officially published by FIFA, but can be made public by the respective nations. This preliminary stage allows head coaches to develop a long list and assess player pools before finalizing the required tournament size. Furthermore, it provides FIFA with advance information on player details, including passport status, international caps, goals, and physical measurements. Examples of the process include Nigeria naming over 50 players before reducing the list to 28. Bosnia and Herzegovina was the first to announce its squad on May 11, though official confirmation from FIFA is expected on June 2, 9 days before the opening match. For the 2022 World Cup, the maximum squad size was set at 26 players, remaining unchanged for this summer, with a minimum requirement of 23 players and at least 3 goalkeepers. Nations can only select players from their preliminary lists for the tournament. Argentina recently announced its provisional squad, omitting Paulo Dybala, who has not played internationally since September 2024, despite having represented the nation in 2 World Cups. Dybala will not feature in the tournament. Players on the provisional list can be substituted for injured players up to 24 hours before the first match. Any substitution requires notification to FIFA, whose medical committee must approve the replacement based on the severity of the injury or illness. Goalkeepers have a specific exception, allowing replacement by another goalkeeper from the provisional list, as seen in previous tournaments. Dallas is set to host 9 World Cup matches at the home of the Dallas Cowboys, securing more games than any other site among the 16 locations co-hosting the event between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. The matches will take place at the retractable roof venue in suburban Arlington, featuring a giant video board over the field, with a semi-final scheduled for July 14th. Key matchups include heavyweights Argentina and England. The schedule begins with a match between Japan and the Netherlands on June 14th. Dallas-Fort Worth benefits from its history as a World Cup host in 1994. While North Texas lacks extensive tourist attractions, visitors can explore the site of the JFK assassination in downtown Dallas and the Fort Worth stockyards, famous for their twice-daily Longhorn Parade, alongside plentiful Tex-Mex and barbecue options in areas like Frisco and Mansfield. The official fan site is located in Fair Park, near the Cotton Bowl venue. To manage transportation for the 400,000 residents of Arlington, officials have implemented a bus system connecting the Trinity Railway Express stop closest to the stadium, recommending a Go Pass for access to DART and other local transit. The 80,000-seat venue, which features standing room platforms, is conveniently located next to the Texas Rangers baseball stadium, offering fans opportunities to attend games during the World Cup. The region also boasts a fan-centric collection of bars and restaurants known as Texas Live near Globe Life Field. The head coach of the Curaçao national team has resigned just 31 days before the start of the World Cup tournament following a public protest from the players. Fred Rutten announced his departure, stating, "I regret the situation that has arisen, but I wish everyone nothing but the best. A climate must not develop in which the professional relationship between players and staff is put at risk. Therefore, it is better for me to take a step back." This decision follows a collective wish from the players to reinstate their predecessor, Dick Advocaat. Advocaat had stepped down in February to focus on his daughter's health, but with her condition improving, the 78-year-old coach expressed a desire to return to Curaçao. The players communicated this wish to the Football Association during a video conference early in the week. The situation gained further momentum when financial backer Corendon announced it would withdraw as the main sponsor unless Advocaat was brought back. Initially, Association President Gilbert Martina had resisted this request, emphasizing that decisions within the Football Association are based on more than just player and sponsor wishes. However, the association has ultimately yielded, confirming that Advocaat will be sidelined for Curaçao's group stage matches against Germany on June 14th, Ecuador on June 21st, and Ivory Coast on June 25th. Advocaat, who previously guided Curaçao to a historic World Cup qualification in November, will now remain on the sidelines. At 78, he will become the oldest national team coach ever to appear at a World Cup, surpassing Otto Rehigel's record held by Germany's coach at the 2010 tournament. Advocaat will continue his advisory role with Feyenoord next week, having joined the club in mid-March as an advisor to coach Robin van Persie, a team that has already secured second place and a Champions League spot. The announcement of Advocaat's World Cup squad remains pending, though Rutten was originally scheduled to make the announcement this Tuesday. The announcement of national squads for the upcoming World Cup 2026 is underway, with teams beginning to reveal their 26-man selections for the tournament set to take place in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. This year's competition marks a significant expansion, featuring 48 participating teams, with the tournament scheduled to commence on June 11th. As nations finalize their rosters, anticipation is building for the global football spectacle. Notable developments include news from Bosnia-Herzegovina, where star player Edin Dzeko has been confirmed to be included in the squad of World Cup 40-year-olds. Meanwhile, international football coverage is ramping up, with the BBC set to broadcast Scotland's first World Cup match since 1998. Fans can track the evolving squad selections as they are released. The build-up continues with promotional content, including reminders that there are 50 days remaining until the tournament begins, alongside ongoing media engagement through platforms like Channel YouTube and the Football Daily podcast, ensuring fans receive the latest football news directly to their phones.